Welcome, friends and associates. This is the Warfighter Word. Now, we're going to continue with the end of Uncommon Valor. However, there's a few things I'd like to cover first. Our main focus was on Gene, Reb, and a bit of Swayze during the previous installment. However, some of the other characters are worth getting into more detail. Sailor is a very intriguing character.
That guy's elevator does not go all the way to the top.
Agent Orange.
That's red wine and uppers, huh? Yeah, that's why we call him Sailor. He used to take a lot of red wine and uppers and just sail away.
And so is Wilkes. After the war, he went home and seems to survive as an artist who welds together sculptures. But during the war...
There's a tunnel rat in our unit.
Goes down this tunnel one day to check it out for weapon storage. Turns out there's somebody down there. So he knifes them both in the dark. Then the mortar shells hit. He's stuck down there until we dig him out. Well, Wilkes lights a match to see if he can move these two bodies off of him. Turns out he knifed some woman and her kid. Killed him better than shit, man.
Sometime later during their training, Colonel Rhodes talks with him for encouragement.
You know, for years I couldn't sleep after Korea. My nightmares all had to do with the Chosen Reservoir. The ground there was so frozen we couldn't bury our dead. Had to pile them on trucks and lash them against the tanks. For years I'd wake up with those dead, frozen faces staring at me.
They ever go away?
No. I finally made friends with him, though.
Huh. That's easy for you to say. You didn't kill the people who haunt you, Colonel. And if you recall, there was that whole beef between the vets and the boot Marine.
You have to earn their respect, Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Oh, look at this guy. He looks so butthurt that he's about to cry. The kid pushes himself to prove to the others that he can perform as well as any one of them, but they refuse to accept him.
You're worried that I have no combat experience. You're right. There's no way of proving that I won't fail in combat. But then again, you can't prove that I will either.
Ah, come on! That is such an arrogant boot thing to say. How about being humble? Say something like, I hope I can be a worthwhile addition to the unit. Ultimately, blind arrogance is gonna make you unlikable. That's why I'm not surprised Sailor wanted to kick this guy's ass. Sailor, oddly enough, being the only one wondering why this kid would participate in an operation that really has nothing to do with him.
Come on. Stay down. Stay here, motherfucker. No. Why? Why you wanna go die, boy? Why? Why?
I'll tell you why. His father's missing in action. Shot down in Vietnam, that's why.
Everybody got that? Good.
But let's all be honest here. You are all only here because I'm whoring my side. I mean, providing a discussion on how the film ends. Well, after Reb moronically sacrifices his life, I'm sorry, did I say moronically? I meant heroically. Although he could have jumped off the bridge before it blew up. So much for the great action hero. Well, after he dies, that's when everything else starts to fall apart. The original plan was to conduct the mission at 0300.
Since we don't have any night vision gear, we'll change the schedule B. 0600 instead of 0300. We'll still be able to receive your verification about the POWs.
What's even worse is that they arrive late, so there's enough light to complicate things. In addition to the bridge not exploding initially, 2 of the helicopters crash. One tactically crashes, taking out a tower, and then crashing into one of the VC living quarters. Both Colonel Rhodes and Sailor survive, and they run off to look for the POWs. The other helicopter isn't as fortunate.
Holy shit!
What? How did he survive that?
Thank God I was wearing my seatbelt.
Mission isn't completely scrapped though. The final helicopter is still functioning, and they take the POWs to it. But it turns out they're missing one, and none of the ones they found is Colonel Rhodes' son. So Colonel Rhodes runs to find the pit. It shouldn't be too hard to find. It's where all the cigarette smoke is coming. Oh yeah.
McGregor?
As it turns out, it's the son of Robert Stack's character. Luckily for him, all he needed to do was fund the training, buy the equipment, the flights, the food, the sleeping areas, and didn't have to put his actual ass on the line. And he gets his son rescued. But Colonel Rhodes put a lot of money into finding his son and using other resources to get the information, and he still didn't get his son back. It's quaint on how unfair life is, isn't it? Granted, McGregor did get threatened by a slimy senator.
Look, I didn't want it to get this far. They're prepared to take serious measures against your company. IRS audits, antitrust suits.
Oh my God, not taxes! You cruel bastards! Damn you, IRS!
Fuck you, Art.
Why don't they just arrest these guys? Oh yeah, the badly dubbed dumbass had his chance. Too bad he's more focused on being in a foreign film to care.
Shit.
Colonel Rhodes and the POW are on their way to...
Get to the chopper!
Damn it, Arnold! This is not a good time! But yeah, get to the chopper. They get caught under fire, and Sailor heads in to assist by taking one of the mounted weapons on an empty tower. While his excellent marksmanship takes out plenty of those pesky Vietnamese, he eventually gets hit, and appears to have died. Kidding me? What a ripoff! I mean, I wanted to see that grenade around his neck get used. They bothered to mention it a few times during the film, after all.
Silly son of a bitch come in here with a grenade hung around his neck. If you ask me, I don't think his bread's quite done.
You guys gonna be using real grenades and stuff, man. They took me out.
Nobody wears that goddamn grenade around his neck, huh?
Well, Sailor always said that if life got too shitty, just pull the pin and see what's next.
It just seems like... Look! He's still alive, and the rest of the group left him to die. What a bunch of douchebags. What the hell's up with these guys going out in explosions? Rev had enough time to jump off the bridge, and Sailor could have just dropped the grenade instead of doing that ridiculous kamikaze maneuver. In fact, the only people on their side who were killed by gunfire were the old Vietnamese man and one of his daughters. I guess the Americans are the only ones that get to go out with a bang. Literally. The rest of the surviving members of the group get picked up on the helicopter, but Colonel Rhodes is still plagued about what happened to his son.
It's really good to see you. Frank. He died.
I see. He went through all that trouble just to find out that his son is dead. This seems fair. Don't get me wrong, I would have preferred that Colonel Rhodes would have gotten his son back, but it's more than what other families get when they have a loved one who is a POW. Unless they come home, these families will never really know if their POW is dead or still suffering in a camp. These families may suffer wondering for decades after, and it's not right. Even though his son is dead, Colonel Rhodes now has some closure to the question of what happened to his son. Now he can move on with his life. Well, at least move on to being put into jail for unsanctioned actions in another country. So, that was Uncommon Valor, and to put it simply, I liked it. It's easy to compare to Rambo First Blood Part 2, but really, half of that movie wasn't dedicated to training him to save POWs. This, while being a little less action-packed, is a more plausible scenario. Rather than one epic badass going in, you have a team of badasses going in. It kind of has that feeling of taking the plot of First Blood Part 2, but mixing it with the characters from Predator. Well, except less badass than the latter. But you get my point. Hey there, Spooner. Did you want to say anything before I wrap this movie up?
Oh, believe me, I've already made my peace with this movie. It's not really a Reb Brown movie, because you got the greatest action hero the world has ever known, and the budget to actually compete with regular American action movies of the era, and you completely squandered all of it.
Whoa, Spooner, calm down, calm down. Let me just ask you this. If you were to look at this as just another movie, pretend that Reb Brown isn't in this movie, what do you think of it?
Well, it's good.
I'm glad to see that you agree with me.
Wait, why do you keep calling me Spooner? It's Spoony.
Don't get butthurt about it. I do it to everyone.
Really? What do you call Linkara?
Stinkara.
Okay, that was too easy. What about Film Brain?
Film Brat.
Angry Joe.
Josephine.
I know what should be hard. Nostalgia Critic.
Nephralgia Eunuch.
What the hell is nephralgia?
It's a medical term for pain in the kidneys, but it's usually felt in the loins.
Well, what about...
Spooner, I would be glad to continue this discussion with you. However, I really need to finish this up first.
Oh, right. Man, I should be going anyways. I gotta continue with Final Fantasy. Fuck me.
Jeez, that guy acts as if the game's gonna come alive and kill him or something. Anyways, I'm Outcast, and this has been part 2 of the Uncommon Valor review. It's quite poetic that it actually has a very similar plot to Rambo First Blood Part 2, considering that that's kind of my next area to travel. So join me next time.